Now, the interesting thing about it is Mr. Conley had always wanted to be a writer, and Mr. Mosier too, but Mr. Conley had a little book, and he would write down things when, I guess even when he was a child, of things that happened to him, of things that happened to his friends. When he got older, he wrote about his kids, and his kids would come home and say, this happened to so-and-so at school today. So all of the original Leave It to Beavers, all 234, because we shot 39 a year for 6 years, come from real life. And I'm not saying that each episode is one thing that happened to a child, because they would take them and embellish them and maybe add different things. But in the core of each episode is from real life, and they really did happen to a child. And people always also ask me, where did they get the name Beaver? Well, from this same book of all the experiences he's had, he also, at the back, had an alphabetized list of names. And he would, every time, I guess when he was much younger, write down the names of people that he met. So right away, of course, he got Tom, Dick, and Harry. But when Mr. Conley was a merchant marine during World War II, one of his shipmates was named Beaver. So when he went to do, well, actually, It's a Small World, at that time, that was the name of it, he went, started flipping through his names, went through all the A's and didn't find one, went to the B's, found Beaver, and said, oh, that's a great name for a character. And that's how the name Beaver came to Leave It to Beaver. They didn't want to say, oh, Mr. Conley had it in the back of his book and he's a merchant marine. So we went through the entire 234 episodes, and they came to the very last episode. Now, so we could have a big party, they did a montage of the entire 6 years of the series. And we'd go through a book, and they'd come in and then they'd show what they thought were their best clips. And so one of the little blips on that is, I think, how did I get the name Beaver? And then they say, and after 6 years, it's so lame, I'm sure they could have come up with something better than this. They say, Wally couldn't pronounce the name Theodore, and so he would call you Tweeter, and from that we got Beaver. And after 6 years, that's all they could come up with. But that's how they explained it on the show.